So, this is a presentation on how to fill out the FAA Form 8610-2. It's a step-by-step instruction. Do not work ahead. Stay on the same page with me, and we will be done correctly in just a very few minutes. On your 8610-2, this is the top of the page. So if you have a minimum of 30 months airframe and power plant experience, then check mechanic, airframe, power plant, additional or application for original issue. So that's if you have 30 months. If you have 18 months, then what you want to do is check mechanic, either airframe or power plant, and original issuance. The next block, block number 1. Top of the block, your first name, your middle name, and your last name. If you do not have a middle name, then between your first and your last name, put NMN, no middle name. In the Social Security block, I know some of you have already written your Social Security number in there because you worked ahead. Put a line through it and put DNU, do not use. For your date of birth, everything is in 8 digits. So, 09/09/1968. Your height is in inches, not in feet. So if you're 6 feet tall, 72 inches. Your weight is in pounds, we don't work in kilos. Your hair color, whatever the natural color is. If you were at a party and it was green, pink, orange, then whatever your natural color is. If you dyed your hair from black to blonde or blonde to black, then put in that color. If you're bald, write bald. Your eye color, whatever the colors are naturally without contacts and the rest of it, blue, hazel, green, black, whatever it is. Male, you only have 2 choices. You only have 2 choices in sex, male or female. Your nationality is USA if you're a citizen. If you're not a citizen, then the name of your country. Not Mexican, Mexico. Not Italian, Italy. So that's important. Believe it or not, the FAA employs hundreds of legal document examiners. Their life is to look at these documents. Their life is to find problems and send them back. So if you don't do them right, you're going to get them rejected. And the process then takes months to get that fixed. So pay attention. Under the J, your place of birth. If you were born in a foreign country, the city, state, and country of birth. If you're born in America, the city and the state. Check L, no, because that says, have you ever held an airman certificate? You haven't, so check no. Then you go into M, and it says, do you have or have you ever held an FAA Airman certificate? Check no. If you've had a drug conviction, I can't believe that anybody in the Marine Corps would have a drug conviction, but if by chance you were young in your career and you got a drug conviction, you have to be clean at the final date of conviction. You have to have 1 year from that. So if you did have a drug conviction, and I doubt if there's very many people that have, then it's 1 year from that conviction. If it's been more than 1 year, then you don't have to put that down there because that's all we're interested in, okay? Under permanent home address, that's an important one. If you're going to be deployed, if you're going to be restationed, if you're going to get out of the Marine Corps and you're using the barracks or somewhere else for it, don't do that. Put your permanent home of record, your parents, your grandparents, or somebody that you have that will be there permanently. And the reason being is it's going to be sent to that address. And if it's lost or forwarded back to the FAA doesn't try to deliver it any other time. It just sits there. And then you have to go through all that process again. So, just a permanent address. Again, block 2, just one thing to check. Check B, military experience. On the next, this is where we run into problems sometimes. So just take your time. If you're in the Marine Corps, your service, USMC. Whatever your rank is, E whatever it is, or if you're a warrant officer, a W whatever it is, and I've only had one officer, but if you're an officer and you want to be part of this, then put your O, whatever the rank is. Under 3, all of your MOSs. If you've worked on 2 different types of helicopters or 2 different types of fixed-wing airplanes, put them all down there. This is an important one too. So start down here with the from, the to. This is your first job that you had in the Marine Corps. If you've only had one, then put it up here. And the to would be present. So whatever you're doing currently is present when you finished, not a date, because that means that you're finished and you're not, unless you're being discharged that day. But other than that, put present. So what we're looking for, again, is either 18 months of continuous or 30 months of continuous. So you don't, if you've been in the Marine Corps and you're a Master Gunnery Sergeant and you've been in 22 years, you're not going to put 22 years of experience in here. Do a break where it gives us 30 months, 18 months. Your employer, the USMC, Marine Corps Air Station, Miramar, Squadron, so-and-so. This is the most important portion of this block. This is what's going to qualify you. So there's specific buzzwords that we're looking for and specific things we're looking for. So some of the buzzwords we're looking for is like inspect, repair, overhaul, service, airframes, power plants, accessories, rig, test, accomplish NDI. These are the words that are required to explain the type of work you do. It is also in block 3, buzzwords, additional buzzwords. Repair, inspect, overhaul, rework, troubleshoot, change components and inspect, test, airworthiness of the aircraft. So if you fill that thing out and you write something like accomplish flight line and depot level work on airframes, power plants and rotors, prop rotors, propellers, inspect engines, airframes and components for airworthiness, troubleshoot and change components, and test hydraulics, fuel and electrical systems, change rigged and tested engines and airframe components. This type of a statement covers a minimum of 18 to 30 months of active duty depending on the type of equipment you work on. So C-130s, obviously you don't have prop rotors or rotors, you have propellers. So I'm not saying write this exactly as it is on the page, but all these buzzwords, the rigging and the testings and all these other buzzwords, put those all on that section in block 3. Drone Marines are eligible. Same thing goes to drone Marines. This is the last part of the front of 8610-2. If you have a really awesome 2-sided printer, don't sign it, make 2 copies of it, bring it back, and we'll sign together, you and me. If you have a crappy one that doesn't work, then you're going to have to write out another perfect one and then make a bad copy for me. Okay? Or the inspector, whoever that is. But the bottom line is that you need 2 originals, but you don't have to write out 2 originals if you've got a great copy machine, because then we sign in ink and it looks like 2 originals. On the back side of the form, very important piece as well. If for chance you don't have a 2-sided printer and that's all you had and you come in with individual sheets, then you're going to print your name at the bottom, right here, the full name at the bottom of the back side of the form. Right in here, you're going to put your identification, driver's license, military ID, passport. You're going to put down what it is, so California ID, driver's license, expiration date, and the number. If it's military ID, same general thing. Right below that, you're going to put your cell phone number in case there's something that we need to get in touch with you about. Again, the form is good forever, safeguard it. When you start the test, you have to be completed in 2 years. So there's the statement, try to get one of them done. If you don't, have time to do them both. Sorry. That's it. We're finished.